Failsafe is returning as an exotic that fires Exodus rockets. This character was a big part of the Red War, but since has been absent for a few years even in the lore. She's back now with some attitude. Some new information about Rhulk, the first disciple of the Witness, and the probe dispatched to his destroyed home planet. Welcome Guardians, let's dive right in. Before we get into the exotics and Failsafe, if you haven't seen it yet, I recap Destiny's entire story to the final shape. A 6-hour-long video with timestamps for each season and expansion. If you have a new friend to the game, you can share it with them or recap yourself just before June 3rd. I appreciate the support. Bungie released some new trailers over the past couple of days, an exotic weapon in Kvostov and some class exotics. For the Titans, you have the hazardous propulsion chest piece. Class ability fires Exodus rockets, which looks pretty sweet. Hunters have the gifted conviction, arc aspects create bouncing explosives. And the Warlocks have the Matiodoxica chest piece, arcane needles cause a suspending detonation. From the new Titan chest piece, we can see Failsafe is literally in the plate itself. Maybe it's just a logo or representation of Failsafe, but to me it seems like it could actually be the Golden Age AI. The community has waited for her to return, and this could be an interesting way for them to do it, even if she speaks to the player as you equip it and get kills with the Exodus rockets. Just that name itself, Exodus rockets, further lends me to believe it's Failsafe of the Exodus Black. For those that don't know, that's what Failsafe was, an AI of the Exodus Black ship which can now be found on Nessus. This was a colony ship that crashed here long ago during the Golden Age. Due to damage to her mainframe, Failsafe developed two distinct personalities, one cheerful and helpful, and the other depressed and sarcastic. Failsafe was a big part of Destiny 2's original campaign, and here's some of her most important moments summarized. The Exodus Black crashed on Nessus due to unexpected gravitational anomalies and sudden alien intrusion in Failsafe's systems. Failsafe's shackle programming was disabled, allowing her to think more freely and eventually developing that second personality. She then remained alone for over 500 years after the crash, undergoing self-repair and developing new emotions. During the Red War campaign, Failsafe encounters the Hunter Vanguard Cade 6, who needed her help to escape a Vex teleportation loop. This happened after the last city fell to the Red Legion. She later helped our Guardian and Ghost meet up with Cade on Nessus, defend the Exodus Black, and secure the ship from Fallen and Vex attacks. We weren't done with Failsafe just yet though. Although it's been over 500 years, she still believes some of her crew could be alive. She's hearing voices of her former captain, Jacobson. The Guardian ventures out on a mission and follows a friendly Vex Harpy who speaks as Captain Jacobson and finds recordings of the team's final moments. This gives Failsafe some closure, but she's a little more depressed.
Captain, hello! Before you came to Nessus, my #1 objective was to learn to embrace the uncaring silence of the void.
I had some stuff to deal with.
However, you have been instrumental in helping me to acquire new objectives. My increased efficiency is clear proof that I required a new crew. Although I will not forget my first crew, I understand now that you are my captain, and I am proud to be your Failsafe.
Failsafe then would befriend the ghost Glint and offered emotional support to the Guardian after Kate 6's death in Forsaken. That was the last time we really heard audio from her. She's been in a couple of lore entries like the headless ones from the Halloween event, so here's that lore tab. This was over a couple of years ago, I believe. As Glint neared the Exodus Black, he requested permission to board over open comms. A chipper digital voice quickly replied, "Yes, I'm happy to receive you, even if you are a terrible ingrate." "Thanks, Failsafe." Glint scooted into the ship, away from the prying eyes of the Vex and Fallen. "I know the Vanguard hasn't been back here in a while, but..." "Correct. It's been almost 2 years since you last visited, even though you promised to come back often," the AI replied. "I've since developed the emotion of betrayal, just for you." "Well, I'm here now," Glint tried to keep his tone light. "I was hoping you can help me with a research project." "Of course, I'm happy to be exploited for your gain," Failsafe replied helpfully, and then, in a more dour tone, "anything to break up the unending loneliness." So Failsafe is lonely. Players want her back, and this could be the perfect opportunity from Bungie. Guardians love to shove gods and different AIs into exotic weapons, and in this case, possibly some armor. Failsafe's tired of being ignored and now has rockets at her disposal. Next up, the Kvastov is back. Every 7th bullet will ricochet. Kvastov was the first weapon acquired by any Guardian in Destiny 1. Found in the wall of the Cosmodrome after first arising, this thing was legendary. Rise of Iron had a unique questline to get another exotic version of this weapon, and it hasn't appeared as an exotic since then. It was in Destiny 2 for the new lights, but now it's got some updated perks and firepower. Today, Bungie also released a little trailer for a new exotic called the Microcosm, a heavy trace rifle. This trailer is kind of small and it says deals massive bonus damage to shields, so it doesn't really show us much, but here's that. And while we're at it, let's recap the important things from this week in Destiny for May 16th. The first part of this week's update was the weapons tuning recap. Now there's a lot going on here, but here was some of the basics from that. Pulse rifles increase base PvE damage by 20%. Pellet shotguns increased by 10%, while slugs increased by 9%. Fusion rifles, sniper rifles, glaive projectiles, and linear fusion rifles are also increased by 5 to 7%. Some of those vary for each one. A bunch of exotics were also nerfed and buffed, and here's a list of those. Next in the update, they talk about enhancement in the final shape. During the Lightfall year, players experienced weapon enhancement with adept weapons from the Root of Nightmares and Crota's End raids. The final shape expands and simplifies this system to include more weapons. For enhancement, Tier 1 replaces Masterwork with an enhanced intrinsic matching the old Masterwork stat. Adds a weapon level, enhancement date, and memento socket. Raid adept weapons can adjust their first 2 columns at the relic on Mars. For Tier 2, which requires weapon level 11, upgrades the left column traits to enhance perks automatically. No need to visit the relic on Mars. And for Tier 3, weapon level 17, upgrades the right column traits to enhance perks automatically. Same thing, no need to visit the relic. Eligible weapons for enhancement. New weapons are either craftable or enhanceable. Weapons from activities like Vow of the Disciple Raid, Guardian Games, King's Fall, Gambit, Crucible, Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, Vanguard Ops, Nightfalls, and Prophecy Dungeon can be enhanced. Older weapon instances with origin traits are also eligible unless they're from before Season 17. Changes to mementos in the final shape. Mementos can be applied directly in the weapon inspection screen without visiting the relic now. Memento stat cap limits increased from 1 to 3. and they will no longer be stored as consumables but as a virtual currency in the weapon inspection screen. Players can dismantle faded mementos to add them as virtual currency, allowing for temporary overstacking. They've also reduced fragment cost at Ikora, from 25,000 glimmer down to 10,000. This change aims to make these essential build crafting elements more accessible for new and returning players. The Pantheon grows stronger this week with Rhulk, Disciple of the Witness, so let's talk about some of the new and old lore added within this update. Classification: the last known Lubraean, first Disciple of the Witness. Other names: the Upender, Wormfather, Dread, Resonant. Hazards include Darkness Mastery, Immeasurable Strength and Durability, Powerful Lubrae's Ruin Glaive, Sons of Lubrae Attack and Debuff, Savage Strike Kick, Umbral Suffocation Attack, Teleportation, Resonant Spikes Area Effect, and Guardians rated Sigma 3 or lower are advised not to engage. Rhulk was born on the planet Lubrae, a world originally blessed by the Traveler that spiraled into an authoritarian regime when the Traveler left. Fueled by rage, Rhulk sought to destroy the regime, but his bloodlust led to being ostracized from his clan. Eventually, afraid of what he'd become, his clan attempted to kill him. Decrypted records from the pyramid indicate that the Witness made contact with Rhulk during this time, restored him, and empowered him as the first disciple. Rhulk took his vengeance on Lubrae, annihilating its parent star and destroying the planet. Vanguard power assessments place Rhulk far above any previous enemy faced by any Guardian. Battle scholars theorize the bold fire team that stormed the sunken pyramid only prevailed due to Rhulk's humoring a fight to begin with, but prevail they did. Hidden cipher sequences buried in the symbols throughout have been decrypted by a pioneering cryptarch, thanks to countless fire teams keeping the way clear. The solved sequence is believed to be astronomical coordinates to Lubrae, probe dispatched, awaiting arrival. The creation of the Hive was majorly influenced by Rhulk. The first Disciple of the Witness subjugated the worm mother Zeta and forced her spawn into union with the Krill, which led to the Hive species and the Hive gods themselves. Cryptarchs have uncovered communications between Rhulk and Savathun, in which Savathun derides Rhulk's simplicity as a tactician. According to the Witch Queen, the first disciple only values strength, and his downfall will be his brute force approach to every situation. So that is interesting. Rhulk is a really cool boss, and he's the first disciple. He destroyed his own planet, and it seems they've dispatched a probe to Lubrae itself, awaiting arrival to see what's left. But that's pretty much it for this week in Destiny and all the exotic pieces and Failsafe. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like it, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.